That took a little doing. I cut some pieces and welded them onto the toe board of the what's left of the dash, the floorboard. A couple trapezoids here. I cut that one a little short, but they fit in there nice, and I'm clearing my transmission everywhere I need to. Now I have to start making the tunnel itself, but I think the first thing I'll do is cut me a couple flat pieces for this floorboard, and I think the tunnel's gonna weld to that anyway. I may bolt it, I may not. We'll see what happens. I still have to cut that a little right there on top. Yeah, but the bolt holes are all lining up, and a little corner right there is hitting transmission. I got to cut that out. Same thing on the other side. But I got a pretty decent trapezoid in there. I need to pull it out and weld it better, but I'm pretty good as is. Press on. Well, there's the driver's side in. It's fitting pretty good all the way around. It's plenty strong. Still moving around a little bit, but I don't have any bolts in it. I think I put one in each corner here, and then two on each side of this top plate. Looks like there's one right above my toe there, and two on the side here. So I think if I put those two in and run something back here, probably one in each corner. You can see through my leg there, but it's still moving around a little, but that's where it's supposed to go. And I got clearance all the way around on it. This was kind of a problem to get this all whacked out of here. I got the other one. It actually laid right in. It was the first one I made for this side. That's why I used the back side of this metal instead of the painted side. But I got a good heavy weld there onto that part of that toe board, and it's got 1/2 inch square tubing under it. And it's coming over here pretty good. So and then I still have to, I left a raw place right here so I can go over with some kind of a connector or something. Hook those two together with a bolt, and I need to do my tunnel. Let me get the other piece and throw in there. Yeah, that piece went in perfectly good and flat. I got just a little bit of adjusting to do to it, but not much. I'm clearing the transmission. I need a little put notch right there, and might have to trim it here a little in the back, but I think it's supposed to go forward a little. So this will be done. That'll finish up the floorboards. This one's welded on the inside. You can see the ½ inch on the bottom, and that's what I'll do here. I'll just cut a little corner out so I can tack it, and then I'll flip it over and just spot weld it all the way around, and of course weld that big place up like this one. I'll do a better job this time. I welded it too high and then I had to cut it and knock it down, but this will be fine here. And then I have to make a tunnel. The top part shouldn't be too bad. I could probably just fix something to that flat piece up there at the very top. Bring it down and cut, just bend 2 pieces down to go onto the side, put a flange in them and a bolt. This piece here should just be a round chunk. I think I'll probably take it all the way from here all the way over to there. Just make one big round piece for that, not try to worry about shrinking it for this. And then a little small tapered one for that. So I'll have about 3 pieces, and maybe just a few patches here and there. First thing is to get the other floorboard in and bolted, and then I'll worry about how am I going to screw the thing down to the floorboard. Anyway, I'm going to take it up here into the sun. That really messes things up. That should be a good enough lick for today. My M&Ms, I dropped them. I guess I'll finish my snack. But this was fabrication. Now the next part will be, of course, mounting this solid, and then making that tunnel. I think I got enough video here to upload another one to YouTube. Well, here's this one all trimmed up, welded together. I got it a little low there on the front. You see that bolt hole's not quite straight. It'll still bend, but the angle iron here is flush right now. I got to cut this one edge off, but what I'll do is mount the back, and then I'll try to move that plate. That plate will rotate a little. It's just got that one screw in it. I welded the other one, but this one I haven't yet. So get me a couple bolts in it, and it's the bottom of the bracket there sitting on the transmission on that corner. I gotta cut the bottom of that off, but both plates welded up. All I gotta do now is mount them. Well, I got a brake set up out of something. I don't know what it is, but it's got a clamp here for the steering, and it looks like it's gonna kind of mount up in there. I'm gonna have to cut all this stuff off at the bottom here, and kind of looks like it'll fit right up in there to where that old original bracket is. and line up with steering wheel. This pedal, I really don't care about it. I can cut it and move it anywhere. But it looks like I got to get that bracket out first, and then I'll have to drill some holes in the firewall, try to mount it. I think these had the brake coming through from the bottom through those holes there. Brake and clutch. But this is a pretty good solid bracket up in there. Time I brace it, run it up the firewall, I think it'll be good enough for a brake. I kind of gotta mock this up and see where it's gonna come out. It looks like it's right up in those, right in the center of those 3 holes. Those 3 holes are right there. Looks fairly workable. I guess I ought to get my booster and see what it looks like. Well, I kind of carefully measured and marked, and I wound up cutting off the whole front of this and that top brace. But I got it where it'll go up in there, and I drilled me some holes here, carefully measured them, which means they probably won't fit, but I'll give it a try. Carefully measured them twice, 2 5/8, and misread it, it's 3 5/8. So I've drilled a new set of holes. And try to get so good with these, I'll just get it in, and then what I'll do when I get through mounting all that stuff, I'll make a square plate that'll go in there, and it'll cover up them extra holes. It'll be fine. Well, that was somewhat of a song and dance. The brackets were bent, so I had to open the holes up and then cut the bolts off, and anyway, I got them ground down and another nut started. It's in good and solid. I've got a master cylinder here. I thought about putting a booster on it, but I don't really like the one I got. Anyway, this will go up here. It looks terrible, but it's brand new. It just got surface rust on it. I'll clean it up and paint it. And it looks like it lines up with the, I can use the 2 bottom bolts. Well, and there it is, mounted on a firewall pretty good. And the hole in the I hope I'm showing you something and not just my hand, but it's in. It's pretty solid. I'm a couple inches away there from putting a bracket in it. This old one here might work pretty good. This one originally came out of. Might be able to weld that in and bolt it. What I was trying to do was get the brake pedal over to the right of the steering column. Time I got through playing around with my brackets and stuff, I got it right in the middle. So it means I'm going to have to cut that brake pedal and move it. It's hitting my dimmer switch, but that's pretty decent for as far as height and everything goes. Yeah, that's fine. Right in the middle. Well, at least I got the bracket in. I'll have to cut this arm. I can cut it down here below the pivot point, and either move it to the left or the right of the steering column. Maybe I won't do that until I get the column. I think I ought to move it to the left. It'll give me more room over there for my accelerator pedal. And I don't really need a clutch pedal over here. But anyway, there's the old brake bracket up in there. Looks pretty decent, actually. Cut a lot of it out, but it's going through the firewall, and it looks like I can mount it pretty good. I'll put that plate I was talking about on the outside where those 4 bolts go. Yeah, that's really actually not gonna be too bad. Big plate reinforcing that on the outside. This has already got a big plate up under here, and that's what that was for, was the brakes. So I can put this old piece up in there. Might even be able to get it in the way it was. This was for the steering. Camera and do it upside down, but it's a big thick piece, so I'm having trouble welding it to that. And that'll make my brakes pretty solid. The main thing, like I said, is moving this to the one side of the steering column. I didn't realize it was going to be over that much, but it kind of had to be, because probably filming you upside down here. Had to be, because that's where the the center of that panel was. So now I have to drill a hole in the panel. I think what I'll do is mount that this bracket here, or make another one, get it up in there and tack weld it and where I want it, put some bolts in it, and then tack weld it, and then take it all apart and pull this whole thing out of here. But this brake's got the switch and everything for it, so I'm a little ahead of the game there.